What's up, collectors? P-Rockzilla back again, and today we have another awesome S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla review. And this is going to be the Godzilla from 2004, Godzilla Final Wars. And this is one of my favorite, not favorite Godzilla versions, but he isn't in the top five. But this is one of my favorite Godzilla movies, because in this movie, this is the aftermath of Godzilla being buried in the South Pole, and all the humans, silly humans, think everything's all good to go. They got Earth back on their side and their control of everything. But then monsters show up, a bunch of kaiju show up, a lot of Godzilla's enemies show up, and Godzilla comes out up the South Pole and catches wreck and does a whole battle royal all through the monsters and catches wreck. I think, if I'm correctly, including Godzilla, there's a total of 15 kaijus in this movie, and one of my favorite ones is that one in the beginning where this Godzilla, the real Godzilla, freaking just annihilates that fake Godzilla, that American Zilla Godzilla. That's not Godzilla, so I'm happy that happened. So that's why I put that in the beginning. So with that in mind, let's get this review started. Dale. Now let's go ahead and look at the box before we get the figure out the box. In the front, you got the Godzilla Final Wars logo right there. Nice picture of the figure right there, Godzilla. You got your Tamashii Nation's official seal right there. Everything up here, Godzilla 2004. You can see the figure right there. And then you got the nice little claw imprint here across the box. Another picture of Godzilla there. Some poses of the actual figure. Some legal information down there. I cannot read that. And then down here, more information down here. Another picture of Godzilla. And then another Godzilla right there. And then S.H.MonsterArts. Alright, let's go ahead and get this beast out the box. Now when you get the clamshell out the box, let's get the box out the way. This is what you agree with. Basically the clamshell with the Godzilla figure. Nothing else. And I've said this in the past, being a S.H.MonsterArts collector and a Godzilla fan, I just wish they gave us some accessories with these figures. Like, I understand they don't want to give us atomic breath because they want to make those pieces exclusive or hard to find. But you can give us buildings. You can give us helicopters. You can give us tanks. You can give us smoke. You can give us anything. Give us something with this. Why just a figure? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the figure out so we can take a close look in detail of the figure and the no accessories he comes with. So now we got Godzilla laid out with all the accessories, which are none, that come with them in the package and the figure itself. Now, one thing I can say too is all my Godzilla figures, I want to say this is the one that has the darkest skin tone or scale tone, whatever you want to call it. I had to put the brightness way up in order to see some of the details on the actual figure. It's like without the brightness way down, you kind of wouldn't see any of the details. Even now, it's barely kind of hard to see some of the details because of the darkness of the figure. But as you can see there, it does look like Godzilla. And one thing I've been noticing from other people's reviews of this video, I did see that this shows up a lot, the gaps in between the joints. So you can kind of like see right through the figure in a way. A little pain in the butt, but you can kind of adjust around with that. I know the other figures in the past had that too. This one's just a little more noticeable than the other ones. So as you can see here, let's look at the Godzilla face. And what we could do is kind of match this with the movie right here. So I do have the movie also right here. So this is the Godzilla Final Wars also right here, and this is the Godzilla that goes with it. So as you can see there, the skin tone is a little bit darker, but this is just the cover of the movie. All right, so since he has no accessories, and we already looked over his details, let's look at the paint on the actual spines, dorsal fins. You can see like the little growth. I forgot these things are called right there again, but you can see like the little growth on there. You can see all the details and scales on his skin. You can see all the rivets, ripples, indentations, and you can see that the dorsal fins go all the way down, almost to the point of the tail. Right there, stops right there. And then below, you can see the tail there also, kind of details. The paint on the nails. Paint on his claws, his nails on his claws, and then the paint and the teeth. Now this is a little The paint application on the teeth is a little kind of all over the place. And that's one thing that S.H.MonsterArts have had issues in the past where they kind of like half-assed the paint on the teeth. And this one looks like it may have that same issue, but not too much. And you can see this one does not have, well, maybe you see, I don't know if you could articulate the tongue. No, this one looks like it does not have the articulation on the tongue. On some of the other ones, you're able to move that tongue up. I could try later on. But since we're doing that, let's go ahead and get articulation. So his mouth can open that much. The head can go, look down, pretty far down. Pretty far up. Actually, pretty good, real good up. Wait, look at that. You can even see, if you look real close, you can even see through the eyes. What the heck? I never seen that before. Look, you can see right through the eyes. You can see right through the other side. That's not the eyeball. Look, see my skin? That's different, weird, but okay. All right, so he does go sideways, and then a little bit more sideways, so you actually get turn on 3 points. This one right here, and up here. So you could get some pretty good. He could look to the side. That's actually good. He can do almost a 360 on his neck. So that's good articulation for a Godzilla figure. All right. The hands or the arms. Arms can go all the way up. This is going to be intriguing. I want to see if any parts fall off. Oh, there we go already. Moving some joints. And like I said before with other Godzilla figures, usually these joints let you know when you reach the max. They usually just come right off. You can easily just pop them right back on. All right, so the arms can go. So he could do a T-pose, Godzilla T-pose. He could give you the hug. So he could give the little hug action right there. Okay, so he could do that. You do have, let's see, almost double bent elbows. The arms do have pivot going upwards, as you can see. You do got pivot at the forearm. Hands can go all the way around, and this one falls off too. So already got some joints falling off, but like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's not, doesn't mean the figure's broken. It's just like I said, just lets you know when you reach your limit. And that kind of bothers me a little bit, little gaps there. But anyways, so let's go ahead with the abs. So he can go look back pretty decent amount. And then he can hunch forward very good. So this Godzilla has excellent ab crunch. Then let's go to the legs. So legs can stick out far out. His feet can go down pretty far and can go up pretty decent amount. You do get bend at the knees right here. The joints are well hidden. You do get swivel at the thigh. You do get pivot at the ankles. Get that extra joint right there. And let's see how far his legs can go out. Alright, so this Godzilla cannot do a full split this way, but close enough. But if you do put the legs, let's see if we can put the legs up more. So you could have this Godzilla doing like a sitting type pose. Is this backwards? Yes, as you can see, some of these joints tend to come. So you could kind of get this Godzilla in a sitting pose. And then you could kind of see how far his knees go. Go ahead and readjust this. Alright, so the tail. The tail can go straight, as you can see. And you do have individual articulation on most of these pieces of the tail, as you can see here. So you can articulate there, there, there. Keep going. And you get full articulation all the way up to the last 3 parts of his tail. The tail does have good bend, good articulation, holds the pose is good. Never really had a problem with these newer tails. Now one thing, like if you said OCD like me, you do gotta tend to kind of readjust the dorsal fins. As when you articulate it, they do come misaligned. So you gotta just realign them real quick, kind of have it straight. Yeah, so there we have Godzilla. Mouth opens up, good amount. So that's Godzilla 2004 Final Wars. All right, let's go ahead and get some size comparisons going on. And then we can do final thoughts and final poses. And there we have 2004 Godzilla standard default pose ready for size comparison. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the Godzilla from the movie previous to this one. And this is the Godzilla from the 2000 Tokyo SOS movie. And you will see the resemblance in between the two. As you can see, they look identical. The only difference more of the neck portion. The one from Tokyo SOS is more of like a reptilian look. But this is kind of his transformation from one movie to the other. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring another Godzilla figure. And this is going to be the Godzilla from Giant Monsters All Out Attack. This is when he goes crazy. He's more of like a villain. And there we go with that Godzilla. Let's go ahead and just move these guys over real quick. I want to fit one more figure in here. And that's going to be a figure from a different line. Alright, so we got the 3 Godzillas. Now, let's go ahead and bring in a 3-0 Megatron DLX. And this is from the War of Cybertron. So there we go. Megatron and 3 Godzilla. So you get an idea of how this Godzilla will fit in your collection if you have any of these figures, or just get an idea of how they look in size. Alright, let's go ahead and get the final thoughts and final poses. One thing I can say for sure is that this Godzilla is the Godzilla with the most bend articulation. Like basically he's looking up that way. I think there's one more, which was the one I actually skipped. The Godzilla, the new movie Godzilla version, the one that has the blast effect aiming upwards in the sky. I don't have that one, so I think that one may have a better back bend than this one. I can't say for sure since I don't have it. But from the ones I do have in my collection, this one, as you can see, has the best back bend, that roaring, looking upward type pose I can pull off. Out of all the Godzillas I have, this is the one that can do it the best. So that's a good plus for it. But as you can see, as it rotates here, you see a lot of those gaps coming through on the joints. And that's, I mean, I know you don't see that from the front, from the front of the figure. Or you only see it from the side. But still, just the S.H.MonsterArts could have found some better ways of kind of covering those gaps. Maybe put like another layer of the skin on the shoulder portion, make it that portion articulated. And then the one that really bothers me is the fact that the eyes, you can see it in the eyes. Yes, that's something small, and you won't see that up close either, only if you're really looking for it. But some minor things you have to kind of sacrifice for getting good poses on these type of figures. So it's a win-win either way, I guess. Not only does he the back bend very good, he actually holds these battle poses excellent too. You still see some of the joints. You can adjust the shoulders, kind of lift the shoulders up more to kind of hide that gap when you do have this figure pose. So that's something I kind of missed in the first pose I did before this, but I was able to figure that out and adjust it here. So as you see it spinning here, you just still see the gaps, but not as much as you did in the previous pose. And of course, we have him here battling Gigan. Gigan is one of my favorite villains of all the kaijus in the Godzilla universe. I love the way he looks, all the spikes and the chainsaw on his chest. And these two guys look awesome together. Now, this Godzilla right here is going to be perfect when I get my Monster X, because Monster X is the last boss that last kaiju, I say boss, that he fights towards the end of the movie. And that figure was announced recently, and I'm super hyped for that figure because he is unique looking. He does not look like any of the other kaijus that were in the previous Godzilla movies. So I'm super excited for him. And knowing that this guy can pose, this hopefully lets me know when I get that Monster X and I do the review for him, I'm going to have that pose where they do the test of strength, where Monster X is lifting up Godzilla during the test of strength. And I know for a fact this guy can hold that pose. He's got to mess around with the tail for a little bit. So that's going to be awesome to look forward to once I get that Monster X figure in hand and do the review for him. But as of right now, he looks awesome right here battling Gigan. In this pose, I was trying to get the pose from the poster of the Final Wars movie, where he kind of has his back turned. I'm not sure, I can't remember if it's a concept art or the actual original poster for the movie, where he has his back turned just like this, and you see the dorsal fins lit up. Of course, this one doesn't have the dorsal fin light up feature. So he was able to get the pose close enough to resemble the poster. One thing I can kind of say with this figure is the snout. For some reason, something sticks out to me on his snout, where it just looks a little too thin on the upper portion, right there, like in the midpoint. When you see it turn here, you probably see, like, I don't know, it's either like too short, or the little hump area is just too short also. It's just something kind of throws it off a little bit. I'm not sure if that's more accurate to the movie. I gotta watch the movie again. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. So I'm gonna take a look at it. I got the DVD, the Blu-ray here, so I'll take a look to see if it is accurate. But just something kind of throws me off with that snout. But he does hold the pose very good too, and he looks cool. Like I said, just the minor issues with the gaps and everything, as you can see coming around here, I was able to get this one a little bit better. You don't see the light shining through on that shoulder gap, nor on the legs. So this guy was good. To me, he's a good Godzilla figure. Not one of the best. Articulation-wise, yes, one of the best. But just appearance and some of the little QC things, not the best one there. Lately, S.H.MonsterArts has been on point with the newer Godzilla ones. This one, maybe like a little bit of step back. Maybe a baby step backwards, but nothing, nothing huge, nothing bad. Hopefully, the Monster X, when that comes out, he's going to be just as articulated as this guy. And they can look awesome together. I'm super hyped for that one. Like I said before, I'm really looking forward to it. I had to get this guy. Any kind of variation of Godzilla they haven't done yet, I have to pick up. I know cigars are big up. People are trying to say Godzillas all look the same. No, they do not. And yes, I did skip one that did look the same from the 2001 film. So I had to get this guy, especially knowing Monster X was coming out, to complete or to have this in my display to go with all my other Godzillas. And I'm happy he finally came out. Please give us some more of the other ones we're missing, and I'll be super happy with that. But I love Godzilla. I just can't get tired of Godzilla stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and the figure. If you did, please hit that like, subscribe button, click that bell notification, and as always, collectors, keep collecting, stay safe, be good, dale.